everybody, and welcome back to The New Nasty Boys. I'm your co-host this morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you decide to watch or listen to this thing, Billy DeVore. And sitting next to me is guest host...
Tyler Snipes. It's great to be back with the nasty boys and girls all across the world. It's been over a year.
Well over a year. It's been like 2 years since you've been back on, I believe.
Yeah, I've missed you. I've missed them. I've missed the whole thing. And look at you all set up, all crazy now.
Huh? Look at that.
Lord.
Welcome back to Nasty Nation, you know?
I'm so thrilled to be back. I'm bathing in it.
Chris had some obligations, which is totally okay. He'll be back next week. But you know what? We're going to start off 2024 with a guest. It'll be super fun. Get them all caught up and everything. Well, if the people don't know, tell them who you are and all that good stuff.
I'm Tyler Snipes. I just said that, obviously. I haven't done a podcast in general in probably like over a year. And yeah, if you know of me for anything, it would just be from soccer stuff the last few years. But my love for baseball obviously remains, and I stay in touch with our local Redlegs through the New Nasty Boys as my primary source. So it's an honor, obviously, to be on here because this is where I get my Reds news. And I'll tell you more about that later, but I'm a little bit of a free agent right now. And
sorry, I just realized that was a really long hair on there.
Yeah.
It looks like it's half of my hair. Gross.
How about that? But I got a real important update for you.
Yeah?
So I told you about I'm dealing with sprucing up my apartment a little bit.
Sure.
Part of that, which is against, it's not against anything, it's just out of my control. I have a new neighbor, and when I was leaving today, guess what they were doing?
What?
Smoking a hoon inside.
Whoa.
So a decently nice place, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so for a neighbor to move in, they moved in sometime in December, and it seemed like they were gone. I hadn't seen him much throughout the holiday season.
Yeah.
And totally just ripping a cig inside as I was leaving today, and that's just gross and a new obstacle in my life. So
indoor heaters are now on the table at the sniper's nest.
I guess not in my apartment, but if he's gonna what do we fight fire with fire there? How would you?
I think so.
I think it's a landlord job, but can I get one in before he has to stop?
Dude, you can definitely get a couple in before he has to stop. Yeah.
I was that was the first thought that came to my mind. Was because everybody, I know that you've long quit, but that's one of the rare things. An indoor cig, when you can have one, it's the greatest thing in the world.
If they're smoking indoors, sometimes I will ask someone for a cigarette just to enjoy having those four walls next to me.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, and it's reserved for Kentucky. In Ohio, we're much more civilized. Sorry to all the Kentucky Redleg listeners, but yeah. So that's what's occupying my mind. How about you? How's your?
But also, dude, they're not uncivilized. They get to have a thing from a prior civilization that we long for. Think about that.
Yeah?
Yeah, man, you long for it. You're good indoor cigarette.
I do. I feel better than them, though, after graduating out of it. I lived in an apartment in Kentucky and smoked inside at one point in my life, and it was, different person altogether. I consider that a whole past life.
Now, were you a multiple ashtrays on the same coffee table, and you let them collect and kind of spill over, or were you tidy about it, where you're okay, I had a couple, and then I'm gonna go take it to my trash can, throw it away like a polite person?
Yeah, I generally not all the time, not a daily thing, but if people were over, it would be a disaster for a day. It would reek for a month.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great. Just great. Great times. College age years, you know what I mean?
Yes. Dude, my first car had the ashtray. Oh, buddy. It was just overflowing at one point. It never closed. And then, I would hit a bump and, 6 would fly out and land on the person next to me. And then Matt would be like, God damn it, are you ever going to clean this thing out? I'm like, if you stop adding to it, I will. Oh my God, man.
Smoking in the car is also just, devil's work. Absolute devil's work. What is, in all, how many cars have you had in your life? Or, when you were a cigarette smoker, when would you go from, this is a new to me car, I'm going to keep it clean, to having a cig? What was that lifespan?
Okay, all right. My first car I bought was a 1988 525i BMW with the ashtray. Exactly what I was talking about. Immediately, as soon as I got in the car, rolled down the window and burned one.
Oh my God.
Then I got an 87 740 GLE, also had the ashtray. First thing I did was stop and buy a cigar.
to have in the car.
To just rip. Wearing a polo jacket, too. Like, oh, big aviator sunglasses. Basically thought I was Joe Biden in 1987.
And let's not, like, just fly over that one real quick. First car was a BMW.
Oh, yeah.
What the fuck?
88, yeah. Dude, it was sick. It was awesome. It had a straight 6 engine and a 5-speed. It was rebuilt at a BMW repair shop. The whole engine rebuilt, clutch rebuilt. Like, it ran great, but it looked awful.
No, I'm like, you have a manual
Yeah.
BMW and you're ripping cigs in it.
Oh, yeah.
Is this like high school age?
I was 18.
18. This is Newtown?
Oh,
area?
yeah.
You were the coolest guy in Newtown. Like,
Dude, I was
no
king.
question about it.
Oh, yeah. Well, that car eventually, like, the electric all crapped out. I think I've told this story before, but the electric crapped out and all the windows stopped working. And, like, I just parked it next to my dad's garage and put a tarp over it. Sold it to some dude for $500. Pulled the tarp out. Family of raccoons living in the BMW.
Tight.
Yeah, I had to gentrify my BMW. Be like, get out
So
of
you
here.
were the last good tenant of that car. And you were smoking inside.
I'm smoking inside.
Just like this guy. But we just brought that full circle real quick.
Real fucking
So my
fast.
new neighbor, Naughty. I know you're watching.
Dude, yeah, of course. Because he's got you as a Google alert, dude.
He does. And, like, I have an ashtray outside for, those rare occasions.
Exactly. You have it right there on the window ledge. You just lean, put it out. It's not that far of a walk.
Yeah.
So are you both on the bottom floor?
Yeah, it's like the guy right across. So that's why it's, like, super...
You're smoking everybody out.
Yeah.
Not a good move.
Absolute animal. And, like, it's very clearly, like, on the lease and everything.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, like, what apartment you can do that in. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, he's got to find his lease, but it probably has a burn hole on the edge
Yeah.
where the ash fell.
Yeah, absolutely.
God damn, that is so funny.
Yeah.
Man, that's a big update, though.
But yeah, and, like, this guy, though, seems like a real character. Like, he might be an addition to the friend group. Like, he just...
Yeah?
He has, like, a little... He seems like somebody that I do want to have a beer with, so...
Now, there's always that murky water where, like, you have a couple beers, he's cool, and then, like, he becomes annoying over time.
Yeah.
And you can't escape because he's right next door.
Yeah. And that's the lie. That's what we're thinking about right now.
That's a giant fear.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I
I know my neighbors.
Yeah.
I know my neighbors. They're, this lady to the next of me is like, she's in her late 70s, early 80s. So I'm not going to be ripping darts with her.
No. I mean, that would be kick-ass,
It would be
though.
so sick. And my other neighbor's like a guy in his late 60s. So I'm like, they aren't going to be asking me to go to the Hoon Lounge. I don't know. I
Never say never.
No.
You know what I mean?
But no.
Yeah. So you guys keep it tidy.
Yeah. Real tighty did.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but... Well, congratulations on a cool new neighbor.
Thank you. It's truly an honor of a lifetime. Yeah.
I've been good.
Yeah.
We hung out for New Year's. We had a great party here.
Yes.
I got some photos back that I'm glad are not on the internet.
Yep. Soniga doing his job there, making sure
Real good job of
he
it.
captures all of our yeah,
Our buffoonery and my nudity.
nudity.
Mine specifically this year. It was me hard this year. So not like pants, but like nudity. A lot of aggressive.
There's a lot of skin when you take your top off.
There's a ton, and it just keeps growing. That's the worst part. It just keeps expanding. I want to do something about it, but then I'm just not going to.
But that was a fantastic party. Thank you for inviting me. Oh, go ahead.
No, we still have wings left over, so the party's not over until all the wings are gone.
Yep. Billy DeVore smoked wings. Fuck yeah. Could eat that every single day.
I have every day this
I
week.
ate like at least 12 like that night.
You had a few pounds.
Yeah, probably.
Probably.
And that's,
Yeah.
part of the New Year's resolution.
Sure.
Just really piling it on the last day of the year. Just as you should.
As you should treat yourself.
Yes.
Really, you've earned it.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. But no, you were a season ticket holder. Like you follow. We went to a few games together. It's not like you've been extremely distant from this team.
Yeah.
But there has been some stuff that has happened that makes us have to talk about it. Makes them have to come to you guys and hobnob about and talk about the Reds. Most importantly, we'll start right off the rip. The Reds signed Frankie Montas.
Yeah. I confused it for Frankie Montas.
Frankie Muniz.
Muniz? Didn't even say that right. But yeah, how did you feel about that? I saw the internet was in a big brouhaha.
Well, what was so wild is like that news got announced, it had its little pop, and then right after, like it felt like 5 minutes later, was the Chris Sale to Atlanta trade. And everyone kind of dropped the ball because, I mean, that's two major markets going after it, you know, with Vaughn Grissom going to the Sox, and then Chris Sale, you know, a Cy Young winner and a World Series champ going to another World Series contender after having a tumultuous go of it the past few years. That obviously took the headlines. But I couldn't have thought that they could have made a better move than signing Frankie. Here is why. It only cost the Reds money and a 40-man roster spot. That's all that it cost them. They didn't trade away any prospect capital. They didn't trade the farm. They have him for the guaranteed set amount of time that is on that contract. And they're taking a big swing and a risk on a guy who has a ton of upside.
And, like, that wouldn't have been necessarily, like, if you had, like, an off-season wish list, it's kind of like a sneaky move. Like, would you say that? Or, like, was this a predictable...
He was off my radar.
Yeah. I didn't feel like anybody was talking about that.
No, and it didn't even really cross my mind because I was looking at some of the bigger guys, like, you know, Stroman. I was looking at, you know, I know it wasn't going to happen, Blake Snell, but what we talked about on the pod was trading for, you know, Dylan Cease, trading for Shane Bieber, trading for Tyler Glasnow, which, that would have been cool, but he's a big shiny toy, not exactly like someone that you could really depend upon. And then, you know, he got traded to the Dodgers, and there was a 5-year deal on top of that, too. So that's a huge risk on their part. The Dodgers are able to eat that and go through with it, even if it doesn't work out. They can just swallow the salary and be fine.
Yeah. Which must be nice.
It's gotta be nice. God, it's so nice. But this is a guy, like, and when you look at so you look at the trade candidates, Shane Bieber. Shane Bieber was a guy who had his velocity dip from 2020 from a 94.1 mile an hour fastball down to 91.3 last season.
Which sounds small, but is big for hitters who have faced him over the years. That's
huge.
Neutered a little bit, right?
Massively neutered. I mean, that's a huge difference where you completely have to change your pitching style. You're not attacking anymore, you're deceiving.
Yeah. And when you're not a spring chicken, you know what I mean? Like, do you think that deception, like, are you optimistic?
No.
Like, no.
No, I am not optimistic. I am not optimistic because he was a power pitcher in 2020, and then he won the Cy Young, and then he's pitched less and less, and has had shoulder injury. Had shoulder injury. He had shoulder injury. Had a shoulder injury that it just did not. That I don't think he has fully bounced back from, and who knows if he will fully be able to bounce back from it. So that's a huge risk.
Yeah.
Plus trading prospects.
So overall, what do you give this one?
I give it an A, dude.
Okay.
Okay, here's also why. Like, look, I get that he was hurt half of 2022. He was out almost all of 2023.
Which for pitchers is going to happen. I mean, you're going to have to, like, if you're a well-built team, you're going to have to live without some of your role pitchers. Every good team has to do it. Every good pitcher will work themselves into getting hurt.
Exactly.
It's a fact of life now.
It's what happened to us last year.
Yeah.
I mean, Ashcraft toe. Abbott got tired.
The
Williamson.
toe is weird, though.
The toe,
it's
like,
not exactly elbow, finger. But yeah. Like,
which that's actually better.
Yeah.
It's better that it's a big toe.
He got gout.
He got David Wells' gout. He left it in the bullpen after the 95 NLCS. He was like, I got this for somebody in 2023. We'll see who it is. Graham's like, Jared? Is that you, Jared? It's your father, David Wells' gout.
It just haunts. It's like with the ghost of Bernie Stowe. It's just partnered up with him. Sorry, man. Deep cut.
No, that was a great pull. Oh man, it's like just like that smoky ghost in Big Mouth of Duke Ellington. It's just Bernie doing that and being like, "Ooh, your big toe hurts."
It's like him, like the old Riverfront Walks Will Haunt graphic, the iconic one.
Eat vegetables sometimes.
Tart cherry juice.
Asparagus.
I'm trying to think of because I know in previous years, Shane Bieber must have been somebody that has been roasted properly. Just the last name.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of, like, what the best roast would have been. Because I feel like... Where did he used to play?
Cleveland.
Yeah.
He's still up in Cleveland.
I'm wanting to say I remember, like, saying something heinous about him back in the day.
Oh, of course.
So now he's a Red, and we have to love him.
No, he's not.
No. Oh.
He's still with the Guardians.
Mess me up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Frankie Montas.
Yes.
Yeah. He's with the Reds.
And comparatively, you did not have to give up what it would have gotten.
Yeah, it was just cash.
Okay. Yeah.
And then Dylan C. And so, like, there was a rumored package, which is Rhett Lauder, Chase Penny, Reese Hines, and another top prospect for Shane Bieber and Emmanuel Clase, which Emmanuel Clase, fireballer, 103-mile-an-hour fastball, but also had the most blown saves in baseball last year. So it's like, why would you already have an all-star closer that you control for, like, 5 more years? You don't need that, so you're not going to give up those dudes to go get that. The other guy, Dylan Cease, I mean, the guy had a ERA plus of 97 last year. He was a Cy Young finalist in 2022. There's a lot of upside still there, but that would have been an even bigger package, which would have taken, reportedly, this is from Jason Williams at Cincinnati.com, Rhett Lauder, Chase Penny, Connor Phillips, Edwin Arroyo, and another prospect that's a top 10 prospect in your system. You're clearing out for a guy you're going to have for 2 years.
And that's not really what the Reds' ethos is right now. That's kind of like abandoning what you've been building, like what you've been suffering for. Right?
Exactly. That's why you did the quick rebuild in 2022. That's why you went and you were like, all right, well, we're getting rid of Luis, Tyler, Sonny. We're moving Eugenio, Winker, to completely rebuild as quickly as possible with young talent. Do a quick reset. Boom. You're cutting off your nose to spite your face.
So do you think they were just like maybe there to negotiate with other teams if the chips fall? You know, we were at the table kind of thing, but it was probably doesn't sound like that was ever really a sensible move.
No, that's like a pie in the sky move.
Yeah.
So you had those two, and it's just like, all right, fine. Glass now covered that. God damn it.
When's the Dodgers cul-de-sac? Because like it just seems like they're the ire of all of sports right now.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, go.
So, okay, I mean, getting Shohei is like, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, you have the money to do it. How many teams realistically did? I don't know if that Toronto thing, it was like reported, but it seemed like kind of irresponsibly. Like, I don't think that was ever that close.
No.
Who else was ever really going to win that sweepstakes?
Giants were in it till the end, too. Mariners, I guess, attempted. But no, it was either going to be Dodgers or Giants.
Yeah.
He wasn't going East Coast. As much as we wanted him in Toronto, that reporting was...
That would have been sick.
Would have been awesome.
Yeah. Like, and just like kind of random, too, at the same time. So like, I don't know if anybody really believed that. But like the media kind of like allowed you to think that it was a possibility. So I guess the point with the Dodgers like being gluttonous, I would say, is just like they have resources, use them, but like... Where do you stand as far as, like, if they don't win? You know what I mean? Because baseball is still, like, the World Series is still very hard to win.
Yeah.
And even with Shohei staying healthy,
yeah.
You know, is he going to be two-way? Or are they going to have the emphasis one way or the other?
I mean, he won't be next season, because of the Tommy John. And then who knows how long it can be. I mean, how long is that arm going to last after having 2 major reconstruction surgery on that elbow, man? So it's like, I don't know, like we were talking with our buddies about it. I do love the idea of him, you know, pitching, being a starting pitcher for 3-4 more years, and then being a closer, and then transitioning to an outfielder or just DH. So I can see that happening no matter what. He wrote them a blank check. They're only paying him
Only
like $10 million a year, isn't it? It's like they basically everything is deferred.
Yeah, which is smart by him.
No, they're paying him $2 million a year. So
like, here's the question though that like I haven't gotten to ask many people. Like, so we all kind of view him as an angel. He's a unicorn of the sport.
Yeah.
So is Rosie.
This is Rosie's first appearance.
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
Blessed. Blessed be this track.
What a precious wolf.
Does the Dodgers getting him change your point of view on him being like this game-changing angel. Like, as much as, like, we revere, like, Ken Griffey Jr., for example. Like,
Yeah.
he never, like, made, like, a move like this where, like, he became a villain. Like, but Shohei has opened himself up to being a villain.
Oh, yeah, he's gone full heel.
Yeah. Especially in Los Angeles. I mean, like, going from the Angels to the Dodgers.
Oh, not
Not that the Angels ever really exist there, but, like...
No, they're the little brother. All those Dodgers fans are psyched.
Yeah.
And, like, basically, they own the entire country of Japan right now with Yamamoto.
Yeah.
And, like, spending $1 billion on those two dudes is, one, insane, but two, like, there is not going to be a person in Japan that doesn't have a Dodgers hat in their closet.
Yeah.
An entire country, dude.
Yeah, an entire baseball country who loves him, too, like, at the same time. Like, it's, like, when you get him, you get that, which is, like, kind of, you know, not even kind of, like, directly worth paying for, but, like...
Yeah.
So, it sounds like, no, like, you still love him just the same as you did yesterday, just talent alone.
Yeah.
But he's in the National League now.
And
You're going to see him more often, which is great. You know what I mean? Like, it's great he's going to come to the Gap every now and then.
Yeah, that's what I'll be excited for, but I still hate the Dodgers.
Yeah.
That'll never change. Like, I've always liked watching Freddie Freeman. I love Mookie Betts. I think he's a dude. But, like, as a collective, I fucking hate the Dodgers.
Yeah.
And as Reds fans, we all should hate the Dodgers. They are slowly ruining the game.
That was the thing. Yeah, would you say...
A blank check.
Yeah. Like, how close are they to, like, putting on, like, the greatest show on earth, would you say?
Here's the thing, man. They could be the greatest show on earth. We don't know. But here is what I do know about super teams. Like this. Look what happened with San Diego last year.
That's been a bust for a while.
That was a bust last season. 2022, you know, they made it to the NLDS and played the Phillies.
What was the year that they got Hosmer, which doesn't sound like a big topic now? They went for it a while ago and it fell apart, right?
18. They've gone for it a couple times the same way, like getting free agents, like
who else did they get that year? Because I know Hosmer's not like the heavyweight.
Hosmer was the headliner that year.
He was like the crown jewel in free agency.
Yeah, and then in 2019, that's when they signed Manny Machado.
Yeah.
And started to build.
That was quite competitive to get him. And
Sure.
then weren't they like out of money last year or something?
Yeah, they had to take out a couple loans to pay salaries, and then their owner passed away in December.
God, that's dark.
He had cancer. He'd beat cancer twice, so he was like, "Dude, spend it. I want to win." And they were like, "All right," and they were spending it, and then their regional sports network dropped him.
Well, that's a topic.
Yeah, that's a big one. And then had to take out loans and stuff to pay for the salaries towards the end of the year. Because if you look at it, San Diego and us, comparable market size.
They call us the San Diego of the Midwest.
For great reason.
Yeah.
Our wonderful beaches. And excellent ports.
Navy base.
Our Navy base.
That huge one. You know where it is.
Yeah.
Talk about it all the time.
It's the one with the paddle boat. That's yeah. We can defend ourselves in the 18th century. That's what we can do.
So, I don't know if this is accurate from last year's playoffs, but like, did they lose to the Dodgers last year?
Padres didn't even make the playoffs.
When did they lose to the Dodgers last in the playoffs?
Oh, man.
What I'm trying to say is, like, for their owner, like, coming back from cancer twice, like, you can beat cancer, but you can't beat the Dodgers. And that's what it feels like right now. Like, you can have God on your side. Yeah. And, like, there's probably no stopping this team, because it's... You said the other names. Shohei, obviously, the biggest get, but it's, you know...
Yamamoto, Glasnow, and then the cornerstones. But then you have the 84 win Diamondbacks go to the World Series. Baseball is a crazy thing. It's about who gets hot at the end.
The playoffs.
Yeah. So the Dodgers can go off and pay as much as they want to be regular season champs and off-season champs. Until they actually do it, I'm not going to be afraid.
Yeah.
And, like, think about the last great baseball dynasty. It was the San Francisco Giants. 10, 12, 14.
Much to our chagrin, Reds were involved in that.
Yeah, they were involved.
Eaten up by that machine, yeah.
Yeah, but it was the way they were built, the way they were constructed, from the inside out. It wasn't a bunch of great, like, they had free agent signings and supplemented, but they built that core.
Yeah.
And did it that way. Same with the Yankees of the late 90s. a lot of teams are built that way. And with the Dodgers, man, like, I don't know.
They're not built, they're bought.
Right.
And that's
we'll see what happens.
Different philosophy. It's kind of like against baseball. You know, in a weird way. It's like nobody's ever taken free agency by the sack like this.
Oh, no, absolutely. I mean, the last time that a team took free agency by the sack and won one was 2009 with the New York Yankees. So, you know,
which is another team that gets that passed, like, kind of.
Well, they haven't, you know, they didn't appear in the World Series in the 2010s and have it in the 2020s still. How crazy is that?
Didn't even know that.
Yeah. So they don't get that pass anymore. They aren't our dad's Yankees anymore, or grandpa's Yankees.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so that whole thing with the Dodgers, man, like, I'll wait to see it happen. There's a lot on paper that you like.
Yeah.
But, you know, once you get down to brass tacks and getting after it, and the season starts to unfold.
If you're not the greatest show on earth, it's a loss. You know what I mean? Like if they open up the series, like, you know, dropping 2 out of 3, like if they open up the season, you know what I mean, 2 out of 3, it's going to be so dramatic. It's going to be so fun. Like the entire country, the entire world, you know what I mean, is like going to love, like, watching them, like, being like, will they, won't they? Like every pitch from the beginning of the season to the end, I think for them is going to be interesting, which is something that's hard for a lot of teams to sell to fans.
And it's been hard for this sport to sell, so I do give it credit for that. Yeah. I think we will get a lot more eyeballs on it because of them and what they've done. But I don't know how much of a dramatic shift there will be, since the sport has been growing the past couple years, and especially with the rule changes, it increased in especially in attendance.
Yeah,
you know, the Reds had a 300% increase from 2022 to 2023.
And I mean, and
there's a lot of teams that have that.
Great, yeah.
Yeah. So credit that to winning, and credit that to shorter games.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. But the one thing that it's crazy you bring up the Dodgers.
Yeah.
So with Frankie, the thing with Frankie is it's a 1-year, $16 million deal. In 2021, Cy Young finalist. 2022 has a pretty good start to the season. Deadline comes, gets traded from the A's to the Yankees. His shoulder wasn't right when he got traded. He has about 7-8 starts. Then they find out shoulder inflammation, shut him down. Then they go in and they're like, oh, we gotta get in there, and they do orthoscopic surgery. He shut down most of 2023. Comes back, has 1 appearance, throws 1.1 innings. That's it. But he is fully healthy and ready to pitch this season coming up.
Okay.
I would rather take that 1-year, $16 million chance to recapture 2021, beginning of the season 2022 Frankie Montas, than going out and giving 3 years to like Marcus Stroman, or 7 years to Blake Snell, or 5 years to Jordan Montgomery. Because those long contracts can sink someone like the Reds.
Yeah.
They just can't eat that money. They can't just be like, well, he's not pitching, so we just got to eat it, and be like, no, you have to almost guarantee that they are you have to guarantee they're going to be out there 30 to 40 starts that whole year.
Yeah.
If not, then you're stuck with someone that you know very well. Homer Bailey.
I was going to say even like different archetype of, like, remember the Ryan Madsen deal? Like how they kind of like, I was curious, like, so when it comes to $16 million for this, like, would you say that like they were the, like, what other, like, were there a lot of other teams in the running, or did the Reds just kind of like reach up and grab this and like like, because like it kind of feels like that's a lot of money for a guy in that situation.
It sure sounds like it. You would, because $16 million for 1 year sounds like a lot of money.
Yeah.
But when you think about it, he is 69th. Nice. In
You said it, folks.
AAV for starting pitchers.
What is AV?
Average annual value.
Okay.
So that's what you get per year. You know, your salary.
Yeah.
So that's, you know,
there's like,
it's not top tier, but it's also not the lowest. Right. You are paying what is considered market value for a guy on a 1-year deal.
And for him and his, you know, recovery process, it's like what you said, 1 inning last year?
Yeah, 1 inning.
So it's kind of hard to gauge exactly where he's at. You are gambling with this one.
Sure, but he pitched last year.
$16 million could be a fucking steal. Like, it could Could end
Right.
up being, so that's what everybody's hoping for.
Yeah, and if not, then guess what it is? It's a guy who didn't pitch this year. You're only out $16 million, and then you bring someone up. You bring up one of the kids.
Yeah.
And there's a reason they signed Nick Martinez to be the swing guy, to go from the pen to the starting rotation, so they could take a chance like this. Or if Nick Lodolo isn't fully healthy after the season he had last year with multiple fractures in his fibula, or with Ashcraft going down with his toe, or Hunter Green going out with elbow inflammation, and then Brandon Williamson with COVID, and then Hunter Green with COVID. Like, you do this, you can be like, all right, I at least have this guy and all of these dudes that I've been banking in, that I will be banking in AAA and AA that can fill. But I don't have to rush their development because I'm just going to pay this guy $16 million and see if he bounces back. And you get to hold on to all of them. You don't have to move any of them.
Yeah, which is the beauty.
Yeah. And then if you're something close at the deadline and you're like, this is a glaring need, then you have that prospect capital that you can easily just dole right out and go and make something happen and go on a postseason run.
I mean, fuck, if he's dealing, and this is a 1 year.
Yeah. Well, and then there's a mutual option for next season, $20 million.
Mutual option.
So
if he's dealing and the Reds are good, great. If somebody's on the opposite end of that, I don't know how. Like, it's like that. I feel like those agreements can be kind of fun to like see play out. You know what I mean? Like players' desire versus like what the team.
Right.
Yeah, we can just ship you though. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? At the deadline, they can pick up that option.
Right.
Like, you can trade that option, right?
Oh yeah. So here's the other thing too. Like with Bieber, you were trading for a similar deal because he's in a contract year.
Yeah.
Why trade when you could just pay it immediately? And Shane Bieber, his arbitration is going to be like $18-19 million. So why would you trade prospects to get a guy at a contract year who has health issues when you could just pay less and not trade anything?
Right.
And take that risk. I think it's another Nick Kroll genius move.
It's the genius for that.
Dude.
Okay.
They just got crawled.
They got crawled.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome to the world.
Welcome to the world of Crawl, dude. The Crawl Daddy.
Okay, well, you sold this to me. Because I'm thinking just and I'm thinking of yesterday's Reds, because you never know how much money they have, right?
Sure.
You know that Votto comes off the books at whatever, $20 million, let's say, and you would kind of think that they'd be frugal in filling up that space. And it's okay, $16 million is a big, it's a big chunk. Just thinking, because again, if we knew how much money they had, it'd be a lot easier to assess. But because the $20 million at the time that Votto signed that contract, what is the market rate? How much was that $20 million now? Probably 16. You know what I mean? Just thinking of how less far your dollar goes.
Well, I put this into a inflation calculator, but it wouldn't be the same because it's baseball math.
Right.
So if he were to sign that contract now, it'd be comparable to be $30 to $34 million per year for those services.
Which is wild.
That's crazy.
But even as a 1-for-1, he's healthy. And healthy meaning nothing ends the season.
Right.
You're gonna get so much more for that dollar than you would with the corpse of Votto, or like you said,
right,
trading away the farm for something, and just the opportunity cost of not only those guys that you've spent time developing and never getting the chance to be rewarded for that investment. Great move. Okay, I'm in.
And they spent.
I had trouble understanding it.
Yeah.
And I also thought Bieber landed with the Reds, so I'm really rounding out.
So this offseason they've spent $103 million on contracts.
Okay.
Emilio Pagan, Nick Martinez, both have opt-outs after this year if they want to. So if they succeed, then you go cool, and then you go back you just go right back into free agency. Or that's when you find someone that you're in AA, AAA. It's this guy isn't going to be a starter. Maybe he's a reliever, and then that fills that hole. So those two, Jammer Candelario, not Heimer. My bad. It's Jammer. I didn't know.
Literally? Really?
Jammer.
That's so sick.
It's pretty tight. He's rocking his jammers. Jeimer.
To be fair to you, that sounds like Heimar to me.
Yeah, right. You cover soccer. That sounds right.
Yeah. I wouldn't even. I would go on a podcast without having any reference and be confident that it was Heimar.
That's exactly what I did.
You're not wrong.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I was wrong.
And whoever
but I'm
gave
not wrong.
Billy shit for that,
No one.
right here.
You know the crazy thing is, no one did. And then someone was like, "Oh, I was talking with Danny Rocket, friend of the pod, about it." And he was like, "It's Jammer." I was like, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, I know. It's weird. It's Jammer." I'm like, "That's dumb. That's not his name. That's not his name." He's like, "That's his name." I'm like, I mean, he would know his name,
Yeah.
but at this point, I don't think he knows his name. But
So actually,
I'm very excited he's here.
Yes.
But I bring all this up to say Nick Kroll has come out and publicly said they're done making major moves.
I saw this. So I mean, that's the horse's mouth.
Yeah, right
So-
there. Reported by a friend of the pod, C. Trent.
Yep.
So I believe it. Nick Kroll has been very honest with us through this entire process about saying they are going after free agents. They did that. They're going to sign people at the beginning. I mean, even looking at it in the middle of last year, they said, we'll make moves, we'll go for it, but we need people to come out to the ballpark. That's how we make money.
And they did.
People came out, and then guess what they did? They went and spent money. So he's been a man of his word about that. So I'm cool with what they've done.
Yeah.
I'm very happy.
So like your wish list for the offseason, obviously I know you said like the bigger names came to mind, which obviously those always have like a magnetic pull. So like as far as this team being complete, knowing there's no more big moves coming, according to Kroll, do you think that this team is done, or do you see anybody in the bargain bin like that would be like do you think it's complete? Like is this the 2024 Reds that we're looking at right now?
Yeah, I mean they also re-signed Buck Farmer. I don't know. Like, there's always dudes that they'll sign. They'll get $1, $5 scratch-off lottery ticket.
How'd you like the Buck Farmer thing?
I like it. I think it's fine. I think he's a guy that he's going to succeed in a lower leverage role situation. If Lucas Sims can stay healthy, if TJ Antone could come back, you have Emilio Pagan as well and Nick Martinez. Those guys are all going to be slotted above him. And there were times where you're like, well, Buck Farmer's our stopper right now. And you're like, So
what I'm hearing you say is he's a guy who can pitch.
Correct. And give you innings.
Yeah.
And he pitched in 71 games last year. So he's a guy who can do it for you.
Yeah.
And you know him, and he's been getting better the time since he's been here. So, and there has been flashes of him looking excellent. So, maybe another year and you're not spending a bunch of money.
Right. Is it a show me year for him?
Yeah, it's another 1 year.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
You think he's more motivated than ever, right?
Oh, yeah. Especially when you're on all these 1 years.
Yeah.
So they also signed, God, I don't even know how to say it, Justin Bruihl? Bruihl. I would say Bruihl.
Bruihl. Could be Bruihley.
Bruihley, Oxenfree.
We'll see.
I haven't had anyone say it to me yet, so I don't know.
Yeah. We'll go for it.
Minor league deal.
Yeah.
Our friend of the pod at Reds in 4, who's a great follow. If you don't follow him. His pitching analytics stuff is awesome. But he tweeted he had a 99 plus stuff on his sinker at Coors, 107 stuff plus on his slider when he was with the Dodgers. Lefty, could be just AAA depth, could be emergency depth. But it's a minor league deal with an invitation to spring training.
Okay.
Doesn't hurt. Those are like the moves you'll be seeing.
Yeah.
A lot more along those lines. So.
And spring training can be awfully competitive, too. Like, for injury spots, some guys, busting ass, eating tane, perhaps.
Perhaps.
So cool. You like that?
I do like that.
I saw, I think I saw Sheldon's report of that, and it was just kind of like this happened. Like, it was like nobody, like, was really, like, getting crazy, like, one way or the other about it, so.
They're like, it happened!
Yeah. Not going to be like a big welcome to Cincinnati graphic on the horizon for this one. But.
Yeah, he's not getting a big scoreboard sign, It's like, welcome to! And then no one's going to still say his last name, and we're never going to know how to say it.
That'll be cool. He goes to like the minors, maybe they deal him or something like that. He has a tenure with the Reds, and we just never know what his name was.
We have no clue. Oh, man. And then he's going to tweet at me like, man, I was such a big fan before. Man, this sucks. I was told you guys were cool. It's like, sorry, Justin.
Yeah. We don't know how to read.
We don't know.
We don't know how to read.
We don't know how to read. We don't know what we're doing. let's I feel like we have to talk about this.
Okay.
To shut it all down. Okay. Wander Franco.
Okay.
He's being detained.
Explain.
Okay, did you not see the whole thing with him with the 16-year-old girls in the Dominican? The guy, the shortstop for the Rays?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so over like our little break, the Dominican police were like looking for him. And they checked his houses and they were like, "Where are you, bud?" And he was like, just not home. I'll be back."
Oh, boy.
And then eventually, after a few days, they're like, "Hey, man, you have to come back." And he was like, "Okay." Came back. He's detained. He's being arraigned on Friday on 2 counts of kid stuff.
Wow. So, not good.
Not
obviously.
good.
Because I was like trying to think of like the basketball player, like the Giddy situation, how like he's like getting off with that, and it feels awfully weird.
Yeah, those are like Snapchats, and those are weird.
Like he's like still playing like the next day and everything. This one is like a slam dunk. He is going away.
Yeah, when there were like a lot of tweets and stuff, a ton of tweets and photos and a back and forth. As soon if the league has to step in and like immediately shut it down, that's a big problem. But yeah. Giddy, I haven't kept up with it. Is he still playing?
It seems like it's just gone away.
Yeah, it's just disappeared.
I mean, like, it's the news today, so, like, who knows? Like,
yeah.
He could have been assassinated, like, 14 days ago, and we wouldn't know. But,
no clue.
But to my understanding, like, it was just, like, weird, and, like, it just fell in some gray area. The team and the league were just like, okay, you're good to go, which was, like, really gross.
Sure.
Something that you would not want to see MLB doing right now when in leagues all across America right now are making terrible decisions with a lot of choices they make. We'll get into specifics, MLS. So for something like this, it's good. I mean, justice served on a thing like this. The guy's a piece of shit, and the Rays are what? Like, was this something they're out of a lot of money on? And
they can recoup it, but it was like a 12-year deal. He was going to be the face of the franchise.
Well, this it's something that teams. I don't know who needs to hear this. I'm sure plenty of GMs listen.
Oh yeah, of course.
This is just you've got to vet people.
Oh, yeah.
Before you decide to give anybody a deal, you need to make sure that they are a good person. And, like, when you hear shit like on a free agent deal, like we made sure that this guy fits the values that our franchise represents and all that. It sounds like bullshit, but, like, that is important work. Like, it's like, does this guy fit our vision? Are they a good person? Do they have a good family? Is their cousin their agent and their cousin posts pictures of them shooting guns on their Instagram? You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of, like, avoidable things when you properly vet people. Maybe the Rays did this and they just ended up with a pedo, and that's
they just
the way the cookie crumbles. But sure, glad that it isn't the Reds. You know what I mean? And again, like, for all the victims, like, for everything, like, sucks. It's gross. He's a terrible fucking piece of shit.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that, you know what I mean, like, he's hopefully going to get his punishment, but...
Yeah. We'll be tracking and updating that, because it's just so wild, dude.
Yeah. This is the first time this is the biggest scandal in baseball in some time. Baseball's been pretty clean lately. Yeah.
I'm trying to think about if there's anything major. I mean, aside from, like, the lockout.
Well, yeah. I mean, like, as far as, like, a player being a piece of shit, it's like, you have to go back to, like, Chapman.
No. Puig.
Oh, God. Oh, man.
Yeah,
that
Puig.
one's rough.
Yeah. I mean, placing bets with a bookie to an FBI agent, not exactly, like, a great look.
No.
But, I mean, it's weird to say that, like, placing a bet with an undercover FBI agent illegally is, like, better than what Wander's doing.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
We're on, like, this weird spectrum of legalese.
We are legal experts.
Of course. Yeah.
We're super qualified to talk about this.
Yeah. I got my my degree from MIT. Institute Technical School. That was online in Arizona. Don't ask about it. It's not, about it. You know what it is. MIT stands for Arizona Online University.
Yeah, fits the acronym.
Yeah,
perfectly.
Totally. Perfect.
Yeah.
Spot on.
Reading, guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the biggest lesson every team can learn is that
vet
the guy that you just signed to be the face of your franchise. I mean,
Yeah.
like, how do you miss that? Or if, like, you saw signs that he's a piece of shit, like, how did you not get him a handler, get him away from his temptations?
Yeah, I mean, the fact that he was going on a live stream and his teammates were like, oh, she's just trying to extort you, don't pay her, dude. All this stuff, like...
His teammates were saying this?
Oh, yeah, this was, like, a while ago. This was, like, the day before he got put on commissioner's leave. Oh, yeah.
Good God.
Trying to address the rumors himself. It was bad. It was real bad, and then it's gotten quiet, and it's gotten worse. But, like...
Good. He's bad for the game. He's gone.
He's gone.
And
he's out.
Hopefully everybody can just recover. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, the Rays will be fine. The Rays, again, have another top... They have one of the top shortstop prospects in all of baseball.
Yeah.
They just have another guy. They're just ready to go. And it's like... Shows you how well-run that organization is outside of the kid guy thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just it's sad and it sucks, but it's like I'm always intrigued to look at it and catch up. So
yeah,
knowing you have ties to the Rays, I thought that you would enjoy an update.
Yeah, I gleefully, I guess now haven't been paying much attention to them. I saw, who was it? They were like after some free agent. I was down there for like Christmas a little bit, and there was some free agent that like they were entertaining, but like ultimately backed out because like the stadium was bad, and like they have like their new stadium thing happen, but like they've also like they're not at the finish line with that, and whatever's going on now, it's like nobody should have any faith that like it's going to be the thing. It's just the latest idea is what I understand. Yeah,
and it's also like right across the street from the old stadium.
Yeah.
And the problem's the location of the stadium.
Yes.
So why are they... That doesn't make any sense to me.
And is it also... Are they trying to make it open air or outdoor?
I think it's going to have it'll have a roof.
Must.
I think if... Okay. My big bold prediction for 2024 is that MLB is going to say it from here on out. Every new ballpark built has to have a roof. Has to have a retractable roof. That's my big pool and guess for 2024.
Could be. Florida particularly, just because, I mean, you're just getting melanoma.
Yeah.
If you're an outfielder, you're just standing out there 80 games a year, like 80 plus. You know what I mean? Like, not good. And then like for the Reds, like, I mean, just like the logistics after a certain point, it's just like, hey, what if we could just ensure a way that we never deal with a rain delay again and keep the season just on schedule?
Yeah.
Because it gets so messy.
And it's like 98 degrees with 110% humidity. Why don't we close it?
Yeah.
We'll close it today.
Yeah. It's like, we'll be one of the last remaining stadiums without one because God knows this city will not build a baseball stadium. Like, that is...
No. Well, because what? GABP's 21 years old now. How crazy is that, dude?
How old?
2003 is when it was opened.
Man.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah, and like I do remember my first time going there, and I was a child.
And now it's like better than when it opened.
Yeah.
Mostly, yeah.
It's crazy, man. Like that's a real time. Whatever.
It really screws. It really screws with you, dude.
Yeah.
I'm with you. It really fucks with your noggin.
Because it's not like Riverfront was like the ball. I would never call that my ballpark or anything like that. But
sure.
I can still very clearly remember walking around that. I could get from the blue seats to the red seats by myself.
Yeah.
Totally. Like you just put me in a time machine. Like I remember the stadium like the back of my hand.
Oh, of course.
21 years ago. That's somebody's
crazy.
whole life.
Yeah. They've
full-grown adults have never known anything other than that stadium.
Correct.
That's crazy.
Isn't it crazy?
Yeah.
Well, I have here. I want to ask you about it, just because if I get the chance, I might as well fire it out there. Vasquez, Monterey FC, insert new guy for FC Cincinnati.
Miles Robinson,
the best defender, best free agent available.
Yeah, I mean, some say the greatest of all time.
Whoa, we're talking goats here, baby.
No, Vasquez, the Monterey, fine. I think a lot of FC Cincinnati fans would say good riddance.
Agreed.
Nothing against Brandon. He's a young player at the world at his feet, but didn't exactly back up his 2022, and that's where he got all this interest. He's gotten the USMNT call-ups. Okay, you know what I mean? Like, you got a lot of power. If you can sell him, that's great. They got him from Atlanta United, like, bargain bag, Gerard Niekamp era. So if you can get millions on this, take it.
Yep.
They're committed to Bupenza, and they will have to get a second starting quality striker, which the world is full of. So go for it. I don't think they have I wouldn't put Kimi or Donia. Like I wouldn't say one of their prospects, so to speak,
sure,
would be filling that hole. So that's exciting. Gives you something to look forward to. And if they I forget who they retain, but if it would not be crazy to think they could duplicate the run that they had with the same supporting cast like Don Baji, Sergio Santos. Find the competitions you're going to go for FC Cincinnati to MLS Cup. Like you've got to go for that.
Sure.
So then Miles Robinson, the center back, which for any FC Cincinnati fan, he's filling the hole left by Yerson Mosquera.
Yeah.
Who was on loan from Wolves of the Premier League. He was a young man on loan from a Premier League team. I know you loved him. His name's Yerson. They called him our son. I know that he was a fan favorite, and I know that people thought maybe there's a chance, but it's a young player of that quality that was always a loan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just not. This was always the outcome that's going to happen, as hard as it is to swallow, and this is the best thing that they could have done, is getting a proven MLS vet, somebody also very much in the starting conversation for the U.S. men's national team, which I think brings a lot of equity to a city like this.
Agreed.
Just because the U.S. soccer's done so good here, and this market is still very much getting used to finding its place in the world. We've been so spoiled. So to have a guy who's going to be on that 2026 World Cup team is really fucking cool.
It's so cool.
He's got some injury history.
I saw that he recovered fairly well this season.
Sure. And he's a center back though, and there's a lot of miles to go. You know what I mean?
Right.
So he's not old, he's not young, he's right there, right size for this team. Does he take the armband off of Lucho? No.
No.
Is he the leader of the back line, and can he kind of maybe put Miazga in his place?
Yeah.
That's what you want. You know what I mean? He's not the captain, but he's got that daddy's home. You know what I mean?
Right.
Especially if they somehow keep Alvaro Barreal or Santi Arias on their, just if they're going to play that that 3-5-2 thing, they need extra cover when their wing backs are going forward. Miles can do that. He's athletic enough to cover the distance.
Yeah.
Miazga can stay in the middle. I think that it's good. Do they need another center back though? Maybe. But, starting, if you just froze it right now and you said, 2 of your 3, if you're going to play a 3-back, Miazga and Miles Robinson, I think any team in the league would be... I don't know if there are... Because, a lot of teams just play a 4-4, 4 out of the back.
Right.
I don't think teams who play with 2 could ask for a better pairing than this. So,
No.
FC Cincinnati fans should be very excited.
Yeah.
The team breaking the news on the fucking side of the stadium 2 weeks ago was really
what?
You didn't see this?
No.
So this TQL Stadium.
Yeah.
Which, what's up, ladies? I can see from my window.
Sup? The lights up. So sad.
My Mount Adams apartment. Where I don't have it, whatever.
Where
my neighbor smokes.
Where you can smoke indoors.
So everybody a bunch of people saw everybody in the city was going ape shit about this. It said Miles for Cincy.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago. The deal got announced today.
Yeah, because I guess they were they were saying it was an ad campaign. They were it was just a pitch to try and get him. Well, if it's done by the team...
That's what you're telling the city. Everybody's
you're letting them know.
What the fuck is this? There's no answers for that unless it was part of their marathon or something like that. You know what I mean? Just recycling that ad.
Yeah.
You could have gotten away with that, but no. I asked some questions. Nope. Not sure why that was there. No. My mom's the word, but it's on the side of the fucking stadium. Can we get some honesty? And some people that we know closer to the beat couldn't get an ounce of truth squeezed by it. So,
sure.
When a national reporter breaks it today, but again, it was on the fucking side of the stadium 2 weeks ago. It's adorable, but it's same old, New Year's, same shit with FC Cincinnati, man.
Dude, it should have been, it should have just said source, side.
Yeah, source TQL Stadium.
Source, a billboard.
Yeah, God, so whatever, you know what I mean?
Does the light up thing around the stadium have a nickname?
I know that it's a certain amount in the thousands of fins, so it's a starting point.
Okay.
We call them fins.
Well, I would call it the chili ring.
I think we need to get Jeff Birding on the phone right now.
I'm gonna give him a call, dude. The chili ring. Think about it. We're Cincinnati. We're known for our chili. Yeah. It's a giant star. Yeah.
They got Skyline as a sponsor.
Yeah, big
Just
sponsor.
literal ring of chili would be cool.
Oh my god, dude, I can see it now. Like, they do the display, and it's like the bottom is yellow, and then it's brown for the chili, then the cheese.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
And you know what Cincinnati... I mean, you correct me if I'm wrong. You're more of a historian than I am.
Sure.
Has Cincinnati ever had, like, a prominent college bowl game?
No.
The Skyline Chili Bowl. What? Like, it's
what are we doing
right
here?
there. It's right there.
What are we doing?
You've got Pop-Tarts and cheese that's popping off. We bring Sketty back.
Isn't TQL Stadium hosting a college bowl game?
I know it's ambitious. I heard something about that.
I heard something too.
I don't know if it's like official or not.
I thought I heard something where they were going to.
Great. That'd be cool as long as it's like worthwhile. You know what I mean?
Course.
If it's like it's like Navy versus fucking like Egypt Tech or something like that.
Navy versus Al Qaeda.
Yes. in Ohio, that would really bring Claremont County out. But,
dude, and then the mascot's edible, just like the Pop-Tarts Bowl.
That's what I'm saying. Sketty. Remember Sketty from like the coloring thing?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
That cool fucking dude with the sunglasses and the orange hair.
Dude, he was sick.
It's time to make a comeback.
Dude.
For listeners who don't know, I mean, like you have to go back to like 90s Skyline Chili lore, but just look up Sketty. He was a noodle that like skateboarded. He was cool as hell.
And he had like yellow too around him as the cheese. And he'd be very fun to eat.
Yeah. And he wins a fight against that stupid Pop-Tart. The Cheez-It, I think he got like I'll have Sketty's back till I die. I don't care how
I'm with you. Here's the thing with Sketty that he has the advantage on is that he can stand being wet.
Yep.
Those other two mascots could not stand being wet. They would mush up and fall apart, and Sketty would just stomp them into their graves.
Yeah, a wet Cheez-It.
Ugh, no thank you.
A wet Pop-Tart, can't even picture it. I would never.
Dude, it makes me sick.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sorry.
No.
So wrap it though, like FC Cincinnati looks good, man.
Yeah,
like,
they do.
That's good. Still ways to go though. Like in comparison to the Reds, not as complete, and the season starts next month.
Yeah, that's what's crazy, dude. Yeah. The schedule came out 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, and it was last year's World Cup, and then them imposing the League Cup, which when I was sarcastically bemoaning MLS for a lot of reasons, that's like one of the things. Like they made the schedule really stupid. So starting soccer in February.
And they are still going to have to fit in U.S. Open Cup, correct? That is still being litigated?
Yeah, I don't know what the plan is there, but there's a good chance they're going to start the season and build the plane while it's in the air.
Oh my God, again, because then you have CONCACAF.
For FC Cincinnati, yeah. For 10 teams. You let 10 teams in the CONCACAF this year. Leagues Cup, MLS season, which will be like 36 games, I think.
Yeah.
For some teams, playoffs, which if it's going to be that 3-game first round,
which is so dumb.
So another. There's people with FC Cincinnati podcasts talking about this, but it's just like if I could ask the commissioner one thing point blank.
Yeah.
Just like in the last like event I was at, it was like, I was kind of like I couldn't be a mouthpiece, you know what I mean? But like, at what point is it oversaturated? At what point is there too much soccer?
Yeah, and the season is going to be longer than baseball season, and people say baseball season's too long. 162 games, that's a lot of matches, and I get it that there is maybe 1, 2, at most 3 matches a week, but that's still exhausting.
You could have potentially like if you end up in like the I think like the final 4 bracket of everything. I think you could play, like, I think it was like 72 games. And then, like, you could potentially play more. But, like, no team's going to win it all. Like, no team's going to sweep. Even Miami, with all of the, with everything they're bringing this year, like, those guys aren't.
There's no way.
No, they're going to have to go for 1 or 2 competitions, which is going to be MLS regular season, MLS Cup. Like, that's what they're going to go for.
Of course. And they won Open Cup last year. Or, Leagues Cup.
Yeah.
My apologies.
Which was just...
Right.
You know, kind of like, it was just very fitting. But it was also the first thing that Messi could win. But it's like, you know, they didn't make the playoffs because Miami was such a
They were trash.
Whatever. This is not a soccer podcast.
No, it's not.
Sorry,
I still wanted to get your I still wanted to get your input on it, and I bet there are some people who will be interested.
Yeah.
So let's round third and head for home. Where can people find you?
Aside from your apartment in Mount Adams where my neighbor smokes.
Aside from the sweet new Mount Adams Hoon Lounge.
Yeah. Kind of glad you asked. I'm a free agent right now.
Yeah?
So I've been chilling.
Yeah.
You can find me online, but I'm not doing anything, and that's after like 2 years of like
busting
simultaneously like really working myself to death. So ahead of this baseball season, ahead of this soccer season, ahead of whatever, I've got some stokes in the fire, and I'm figuring out what's next. But it's like I've paid my dues, and I'm pretty sure whatever I get next is going to be something that I'm really excited about. Cool. I'll sit out of the game if it's not like something that's like super exciting.
Oh,
so you know what I mean? So like they're, just for full transparency.
Yeah.
Could be baseball stuff.
Yeah.
I've also applied for stuff at WWE. Who knows?
Who knows?
You know what I mean?
This could be the year to find yourself, dude.
Yeah. So yeah, you can find me at GABP at opening day.
Yeah.
And like I'm just looking forward to like not giving away my weekends for a little while.
It's gonna be nice.
Connecting with my friends.
Oh, doing stuff like this.
Yeah, just like being normal for a little bit.
Yeah.
Doing my best attempt at it.
You're doing a great job.
Yeah, how about you? What's up? What's up next?
Dude, so today when this comes out, I will be at the Comet. I think that's at 8. It's either at 7 or 8 o'clock. It is the first, Cincy's first jokes of the year. So you gotta go tell a new joke. I get like 3 minutes to tell a joke. And then like all of the best comics in the city are doing it. And then, when's the next one? January 27th. You can see me at the Comet. I will be opening for Simon Fraser, who you might have seen on The Tonight Show. I'll be featuring for that one.
Hell yeah.
And then February 6th and 7th, I'll be at Commonwealth Sanctuary featuring for someone. I forget their name. And then
they're huge, though.
They're huge. They're from Denver. But then May 25th, I'm headlining Commonwealth Sanctuary. So I'm going to keep plugging that. I might
Congratulations on that. Are you announcing that here?
Not yet. I'm going to wait a little bit longer. I'm announcing that I'm headlining.
Yeah, like have you told people about that yet?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I've told some people.
You've been working, for anybody who didn't know, you've been working on that one for a long time.
Yeah. So I'm really excited. So it should be a fun one. So thank you to Sports Drink for hosting the audio of this podcast. Appreciate it.
Andrew, salute, my old friend.
He's all the way up here. He's so tall.
Yeah.
He's so tall.
I thought you were going to tell me he's in heaven now for a second. I was like, what happened?
He's in heaven now. What happened? I don't know. He's just living it up. He's on cloud 9. Thank you to In the Clutch. Go to intheclutch.com. Get all your sweet, sweet MLBPA shirts. Use the promo code NASTYBOYS. 10% off. We just dropped some fun, like, other shirts, too, that are, like, football related. Not licensed, just football. They're football. And thank you for joining this week and filling in.
Anytime. Suck it, Chris.
Yeah, Chris, dude. Suck dick. So, yeah. And as always, thank you for watching us, listening, watching us and I'm stroke now. Thank you for watching and listening, and as always, go Red Legs.